Hey guys, and welcome to another NASCAR Heat Evolution video, and this video is more than just reviewing a paint scheme DLC. This is the 2017 update, and I mean there's not much more other than the paint schemes, but there is a couple added features that are kind of minor, but they still really help, I guess, in a way. But there was also a over 1 gigabyte update along with this DLC, so even if you don't pay the $10 for the 2017 cars, you will still have to download a gigabyte update, which I'm hoping fixed a lot of bugs. I know there's one bug in particular in career mode where you would qualify and then all of a sudden the game would crash when you're trying to start the race. That was annoying because that happened at least half the races. But yeah, bunch of stuff was fixed. I personally did not have many issues besides that. The AI could have been a little better, but maybe they fixed that too. Anyway, let's click 2017. We are loading. Still loading. There it is. You're seeing Sky. There it is. We have to pick driver again, so we will go with Truex as usual. There. And there, brand new 2017 paint scheme. One thing about the update is that there is no multiplayer or challenges. You have to do that all in 2016, and also the career mode, yeah, you have to restart that. You currently do not have a career profile. Would you like to create one? Not right now, but just show you guys, you do have to create a new one. And the only other thing really that's big that changed is there a way to just see the schedule here? I guess that well, I don't feel like doing something right now. Basically, they just updated the schedule for it to look like this year, which really I think the only thing is they switched 2 races around in the chase, Kansas and Talladega. Talladega is now the second race in the round of 12, I believe, and Kansas is now the last race, so it's not as hectic for the final race. But anyway, another thing that's kind of cool is that if you want to switch back, you can just click right there and it will take you right back. And I kind of hope there's a button to take me to 2017 again. It does take a little while to load, I noticed as well. Oh, yep, there it is. Switch to 2017, and yeah, let's just quickly go back. And we are back, so let's finally get into these paint schemes. Now there are only 1 paint scheme per driver, kind of like when the game is brand new. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I don't remember if it was always like this, but I noticed driver info, it has the number of the car. I don't remember if it was always like that. I think the driver's picture was actually there for 2016. Like I said, I don't exactly remember, but I think that's what it was. Anyway, this is the 2017 car, as you can see. The new Toyota Camry is there, 2018. They're racing it even before it's out, available to the public. And you see the Monster Energy logo above the windshield and, of course, on the door. And this is a little different because this is, first of all, they never had Bubba Wallace in this game before this, so he's a new driver. And you can see the Xfinity logo on the side. When they had Xfinity drivers in this game in the past, there was no Xfinity series logo. And another thing is that in real life, above the windshield, it wouldn't say their name, it would say Xfinity, and their name would be on the back. And actually another thing is that all these cars do not have names on the back like they should realistically. Just want to point that out. And next we have AJ Allmendinger's new Kroger paint scheme, plus all the other stuff that's on the back. Then we have Eric Almirola, whose paint scheme virtually never really changes, except for maybe a couple associate sponsors. Then we have Trevor Bayne's new Advocare car, very colorful compared to previous years. Then we have Ryan Blaney's, who hasn't changed that much. And then we have Clint Bowyer, who the paint scheme hasn't changed all that much, maybe a little bit, but this is an all-new driver instead of Tony Stewart, who is retired. This is now Clint Bowyer. And then we have a fill-in driver, Chase Briscoe, who is a new driver to the game. He is driving in the Truck Series, as you can see, Camping World Truck Series on the side there. And he is driving the Cooper Standard truck, even though in this game it's a car. And another thing is that, again, above the windshield, realistically it would say Camping World, but instead it has his name there. And then we have Chris Buescher's new ride in the 37. He is with an all-new team. And yeah, it's nice to have some different cars in the game like this. Then we have Harrison Burton, which is the same thing from last year. They added NASCAR Next drivers into the game. Now they don't have as many in the 2017 version, and I think that Burton may be one of the few, if not the only one, to make it from the 2016 version over to the 2017 version, but he is a K&N driver. And this is the same car as last year. Then we have Kurt Busch, and it only makes sense to have the new Monster Energy car in the game for the Monster Energy Cup Series. And in previous years and for a long time, they haven't allowed energy drinks, and this is a first. And then we have Kyle Busch's new M&M Toyota Camry. In this one you can actually see a little bit of a difference on the front of the car, and that's the car itself because it's a brand new car. And you have Landon Castle, once again same paint scheme but new driver. Then you have another filler from Brad Keselowski Racing, that's in the Truck Series, Austin Cindric. And you have Matt DiBenedetto. This one's a little weird because it doesn't have any Monster Energy Cup Series logos anywhere. Not entirely sure why. But again, it's another case of same paint scheme but different driver. Then we have Austin Dillon's new paint scheme of Dow. This one looks a lot better than previous years. Then Ty Dillon, same paint scheme, different driver. Last year was Casey Mears, obviously now it's Ty Dillon. And then here is Dale Earnhardt Jr. This one is also messed up a little because above the windshield says Dale Jr. when it's supposed to say Monster Energy. Not entirely sure what happened there, but yeah, brand new paint scheme. We have Chase Elliott again with the name thing, and paint scheme that kind of reminds me of the 2001 Napa car a little. Then we have Joey Gase in a brand new ride. I don't think he was in last year's version. He is this year. Then we have Denny Hamlin in a brand new paint scheme, lots of purple in this one. We have Kevin Harvick in same Jimmie Johnson paint scheme he's always had. And here's Jimmie Johnson. It looks like it's all the Hendrick cars that have that name thing for some reason. Anyway, brand new paint scheme for him. We have Eric Jones. He was in the game last year, but in the number 20 Xfinity car. This year he actually has a cup ride with 5 Hour Energy and Furniture Row Racing. We have Casey Kane. And yeah, I was right about, I think it is all the Hendrick cars because Casey Kane has that name thing too. Anyway, same paint scheme as always. Then Ben Kennedy, another filler driver from the Truck Series, and he is driving Jacob. And here is Matt Kenseth's brand new DeWalt car. This one is remodeled and looks pretty cool. Then we have Brad Keselowski's Brad K car. Unfortunately, Miller Lite is not going to be a part of this update as of yet. And really the only difference I see on this car is a little bit of yellow at the bottom, and that's about it. And here is Kyle Larson's Target car, which is the same as always. Then here's Joey Logano's Shell Pennzoil car, which is the same as always. And Michael McDowell, same as always. But there is something, you see there's 2 teams listed. That's because those 2 teams have now merged. Circle Sport is a brand new team, and Levine Family Racing was already there, and they kind of formed a partnership, so now that's what the team is, those 2 teams into one. I'm really bad at explaining this, but really it's a lot more simple than I'm making it seem. Jamie McMurray in his McDonald's car, which is same as usual. And here's Paul Menard's peak antifreeze Menard's car with just a little bit paint scheme difference toward the back. That's about it. Here's Ryan Newman's all new Caterpillar paint scheme. This one is actually all redone. A lot of white in this one. Here's Denny Patrick's Nature's Bakery car, which is never actually going to be used in real life because they ended the contract because Nature's Bakery was not paying Stuart Haas what they're supposed to, if at all, for their partnership. So now this paint scheme is never going to be run in the 2017 season. So it's basically just free sponsorship at this point. Here's David Reagan's Florida Lottery car, and again, there's no Monster Cup Series placement at all. Yeah, there's a few glitches they need to work out with this, but yeah, overall it's still okay. Then we have Ryan Reed, who is new to the game, another Xfinity driver. Then we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with the same paint scheme as always. There's Daniel Suarez, a brand new person to the game, obviously replacing Carl Edwards, and he has a paint scheme that I think was based off of the All-Star race from last year. And Matt Tifft, he was in the game, but he was in the number 11 Xfinity car. Now he's in the number 19 Xfinity car with Tunity. And we are back to Truex. So I'm not going to actually go into a race because there's nothing really to show off there that's brand new, besides I think there's a brand new green flag logo to the side when you start a race, but that's nothing really to show. You can figure that out on your own. But because 2017 has different sponsorships and races, I'm not quite sure which ones are different, but I will go through and see which ones are different. So far they are looking the same. I think once we get to Daytona it'll be a little bit different, and it's not too much different, but it is the 2017 Daytona 500 logo, and I'll be surprised if we see anything else that's really different. Dover doesn't even have a sponsor as usual. They probably won't get one till the last minute. It's just called the Fall Race here. And Brickyard 400 looks a little different. Everything else really kind of looks the same. Martinsville is just called the Fall Race. Yeah, not much different. I don't know if Camping World looks any different or not. Pocono Raceway 400 looks a little bit different because it's usually just the Pocono 400. Now apparently it's Pocono Raceway 400. That's the same, and everything else. Watkins Glen logo looks to be a little different, and that is about it. So yeah, that's end this video. Once again, the DLC is $10, and other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.